Hi folks, it's time for another episode of Tony the Vlogger podcast with your host Tony. Hope you are doing good. Here we go.
So yes, welcome to the Tony the Vlogger podcast. This is episode 0 where I am going to let you know a few things. The first thing I'm going to tell you is what I hope my podcast schedule will be. Secondly, I will give you the details to get in contact with me if you have any ideas or topics that you want me to cover. And finally, what the look of this podcast is. So the logo of this podcast. And that's all coming up in this episode. So let us move on to our first topic, which is the podcast schedule. So I feel like I need to give you all a bit of a background about me. I am at the very ripe and young age of 19. I'm a YouTuber under the name of Tony the Vlogger, and that's why this podcast has the same name. I've been doing YouTube for about 3 years now, but I had to delete my old channel and then start this new channel. So I moved all the stuff over from the old channel to the new, so that's why it probably says it's only about 1 or 2 years old, some of the videos. I decided to do a podcast as it's a lot easier to think of things to talk about, and it doesn't have a lot of time to plan, whereas an actual video does take more time and more planning. So just before we carry on, I will also tell you that these episodes will not be only in this audio form, but will also be uploaded as a video to my YouTube channel. So if you want to see the face behind the mask, mic, not behind the mask, I'm thinking the Masked Singer then, then go watch my video. Also, while you're there, don't forget to like and subscribe. So let's talk about my upload schedule. Now, the plan I have in place for now is that Thursdays and Fridays are going to be the planning days, and then recording and uploading is going to be a Saturday. So I hope that you will all like my podcast and that I get loads of topics to think about. I already have a topic for episode 1. Episode 2 I need a topic for. So get on that and give me some ideas. So the next episode is probably going to be talking about the roadmap of Lockdown 2021 and my thoughts. What I'm excited for to happen. I may or may not have a guest for that episode. I don't know yet. I can plan that Thursday or Friday. So let us move on to our next topic, which is how to get in contact with me with ideas, topics, or just to talk with me about this podcast. There are 2 ways you can contact me. The first is by email at capital T for Tony, capital S for Skade, 2001 at gmail.com. Or you can contact me directly on Instagram at Tony the Vlogger. I will always reply to your messages and emails as soon as I can. Depending where I am, if I have internet or not. If I'm at home, which I should be most of the time, then I will be easier to look at all your messages. So, we move on to the final topic. What this podcast looks like. So hopefully wherever you are listening to this podcast, be it on YouTube or any podcast streaming sites, then you will all have already seen the cover for this podcast. I really hope you all like the look of the cover. If you have any ideas or want to create a podcast cover for me, then create one and send it to my email address and I will look at them. Please give me your name so I can then thank the lucky person when I pick one. And really, these podcasts are going to be short. So that leaves me to say thank you for listening to this podcast. This is the first podcast. It's probably going to be the shortest one. And I hope to see you all back here next week for another episode. If you follow my Instagram account, I will keep everyone posted and updated. And I'll see you all soon. Bye-bye.
You have been listening to Tony the Vlogger podcast episode 0 with your host Tony. Hope you all enjoyed. This is a podcast production for Tony the Vlogger. See you all next week. Bye bye. Hi folks.